BJ Bennett here with SouthernPigskin.com SoCon writer Robbie Ross. And Robbie, we get together once again as the FCS playoffs are upon us. A pretty neat field, some fascinating storylines, and another good season in the SoCon. 3 league teams, Wofford and then Sanford and Furman, going to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, after last year's 4 teams getting in, 3 I think was about the max after Western Carolina took a slide late in the season. But I think the third one was kind of up in the air as Coach Hendricks, I talked to him last night. He was a little bit concerned as later as the selection show went. Didn't hear their name till at the very end, but the third one got in. So 3 teams in the league, which I think is about right.
And the SoCon has 3. I want to start with Wofford, who's a top 8 seed nationally, number 7. They get a first-round bye. And what can you say about this program? More of the same, incredibly consistent, incredibly successful, and Mike Ayers in the postseason once again.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wofford just continued week after week to find a way to get it done, winning by the slimmest of margins and only losing games. The only loss was by a slim margin to Sanford as well. They won the Southern Conference Championship for a 5th time. Ironically, only the first time in their history that they were picked to win it, and then went ahead to win it as well to get their 5th title and receive that first-round bye, which is big for the Terriers as the number 7 national seed. So Wofford, their body of work was rewarded with that national seed and the bye into the 2nd round.
Yeah, so Wofford will wait and play the winner of Elon and Furman, and man, Furman, 3 wins a year ago?
Yeah.
They make the playoffs this year in Clay Hendricks' first season. Had to wait it out a little bit, but what can you say about the job Clay Hendricks has done getting the Paladins back in the playoffs?
Well, and had a chance up until Saturday to win a share of a league record 14th Southern Conference Championship, but dropped that game at Sanford in a hard-fought battle 26-20. But hats off to Clay Hendricks. As you said, 3-8 a year ago. Total new offense that has just been clicking. Started the year 0-3, won 7 in a row, and then dropped the game to Sanford. But that offense just week after week after week with P.J. Blazejowski got more familiar with it. The option base just kept clicking. Antonio Wilcox, Keelan Dirks in the backfield along with Darius Moorhead rushing the football. Played well, won 7 games in a row for the first time since 1999 in the playoffs for the first time since 2013. And it's athletic director Mike Buddy yesterday on Twitter looking at the bracket with Elon, who they lost to in week 2 by 3 points, and then a potential game with Wofford, who they lost to week 1 by 1 on a failed 2-point conversion. Athletic director Mike Buddy put out the hashtag Redemption Tour 2017 for the Furman football team, which it kind of is.
A lot of familiarity here. I know you spoke recently with Clay Hendricks. Where are his emotions? This has got to be pretty awesome for him.
It is. He was very excited. He thought that they were going to be in all throughout Saturday night and Sunday morning. But as he said, you never really know until you hear your name called. And he finally did, and the team was excited. He was excited. And I asked him, I said, are you ahead of where you thought you'd be after year 1? And obviously he is a little bit, but he also expected to be able to come in and play back to Furman football, running the football. But they're happy to be in and really excited about going up to Burlington, North Carolina, and taking on Elon, which they felt they didn't play their best game. They had 2 turnovers early, dropped down 21-0 early on, but battled back to take a 10-point lead in that game into the 4th quarter and just didn't finish the ball game. So Furman on an upswing, playing better football this time of year than they did the first matchup with Elon. Elon has lost 2 games in a row. So I've joked with him. I said, Coach, the committee did you a lot of favors by putting you in a bracket with 2 teams that you lost to by a total of 4 points. And he kind of chuckled. Yeah, we're in a pretty good spot.
You also spoke with Chris Hatcher. They play at Kennesaw State. Programs that know each other. Kennesaw State's only loss is to Sanford this season. How about the job Chris Hatcher's done there in Birmingham?
Just a phenomenal job. He continues to be consistently getting them to 8-9 wins. 2nd year in a row they've made the playoffs. That's the first time Sanford's been in the postseason since the division, and back-to-back years since 91 and 92 when they were in Division II. And you know what Sanford does. They're going to have Devlin Hodges throw the ball over the yard. Kelvin McKnight go up and catch passes that nobody thinks he can catch. And they're going to play a Kennesaw State team that is arguably one of the top 2 or 3 hottest teams in the country. They've won 10 games in a row. They're going to be at home. Total opposite styles of football. Kennesaw State with Brian Bohannon, a former Georgia Southern and Georgia Tech assistant, wants to run the option and run the football down your throat. Devlin Hodges in Sanford wants to throw it all over the yard. So it's going to be interesting to see how that game shakes out. But like Coach Hatcher said last night when I spoke to him, he said, well, you know, playing in the Southern Conference, we're used to seeing the option. Furman last week, they see Wofford, they see the Citadel, and some tendencies in Mercer's game, and Western Carolina likes to run the ball too. So seeing the option is not going to be anything new to Sanford on Saturday.
Furman this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Sanford this Saturday at 2 o'clock, and Wofford has a first-round bye. It's 3 Southern Conference teams in the FCS playoffs. Robbie, great job covering the SoCon this year. We'll look for more moving forward. For Robbie Ross, I'm BJ Bennett on SouthernPigskin.com.